Good morning. Before it gets too hot outside and I have to roll windows down and all that stuff, I wanted to get a story out. I was watching Choir Boys Outdoors. Somebody requested that he do a video about budget knives, and I watched the video, and in the comments I left a little story, about my dad, my grandpa. I think I've told the story before on the channel. I'm not sure. I can't remember, but back in 1972, by the way, paramilitary too. It's a budget knife. If you own 3 Civivis, if you own 3 Kaisers, this is a budget knife. You can afford it. Even if you have to save up a couple months, you can afford it. Anyway, 1972, my dad come back from Vietnam. My grandpa was a carpenter, and he was a poor dude. I think he probably, I know he was like a sharecrop farmer too, as well. And he did some carpentry work. He wasn't like a big time own my own business type of thing, man. He lent himself to other people that own their own businesses and stuff. Anyway, my granddad handed my dad one morning. He handed my dad a $10 bill and the keys to a F100 Ranger. He said, "Son, if you don't mind, run down to Hills Hardware and grab me a new hammer." And he probably didn't say, "if you don't mind," to be honest. He probably just told him, "Run down to the hardware store, grab me a new hammer." Said, "Your uncle," being my granddad's brother, "stopped by and borrowed my E-swing, and he probably forgot he borrowed it and forgot to return it. So I need a new hammer." So my dad went down to Hills Hardware, bought a hammer for $2 and some change. I can't remember exactly. It was made in Japan. In the 70s, that wasn't a good thing, necessarily. That was your budget stuff. And he got back home and he handed my grandpa the change and he handed him a hammer. And my grandpa was not like me, man. He didn't like to hear himself talk. He was a man of few words. And grandpa said, "Son, what is this?" My dad said, "Well, that E-swing in there was about 3 times the price of that hammer I picked up. I figured you'd be proud. I was shopping for a deal." He said, "This ain't a good deal, son." And as he was saying it, he took that hammer, that wood hammer with it was a metal hammer and a wood handle, and he slammed it against a hickory tree and sent the hammer off the handle flying across the yard. And he said, "Please take the remainder of that money and go down there and get me a hammer. Bring it back. I ain't got time to play." So my dad did that. And when he got back, he said, "Man," he said, "I wasn't trying to be rough on you." He said, "And there ain't nothing wrong with being savvy with your money. And I appreciate you trying to save me some money, because we need the money. But the fact is, son, is I'm too poor to buy junk. When I buy something, I need it to last. I'm too poor to keep on buying the same junk over and over and over again." And that mind frame has kind of stuck with me my entire life, no matter what kind of hobbies I get into. Because, and I will buy junk from time to time. You've seen it on my channel. But I have a clear distinction. There's absolutely, there's no, I have no illusion of what in my collection is dependable and will be dependable 10 years from now. And what in my collection is junk, is disposable, and probably won't mean anything in 5 years. Anyway, Grayman Satu. It's an expensive knife for a lot of people. It's a cheap knife for some people. Full titanium S30V, big boy. We'll see next to that S90V Paramilitary 2. If you own 10 Kaisers, 10 $50 Kaisers, if you own 10 Civivis, 10 $50 Civivis, You can afford this knife. It might take you a little while to save up for it, but you can afford it. This is in your budget. This is a budget knife. All I have is budget knives. Sometimes I have to save up for my budget knives. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong for you. Save up for your budget knives too. On the other hand, on the flip side, you need something tough that's going to last a while, and you need to be able to pick it up without saving. Colt still makes some great stuff. Scab covered that in the video. It was the first brand I thought of. The Pro Light Dopey gave me an excellent work knife. The Formax Scout's a great knife. Obviously, you can pick them up for $60-$70 just about any time on Amazon. Sometimes other sites have them for sale. I've seen Midway USA have them for sale for $50. There's a lot of good knives out there that will stand the test of time. You'll get more than your dollar's worth out of for less than $100. That's a fact, Jack, 100%. And you may be happy with it for the entire time. There's nothing wrong with that. Those knives aren't usually made with the steels that are going to get the best edge retention. You know, like if you're looking for something slicey, I think Courtney got this for like $170. And it is a DLT exclusive, but it's $170, man. It's S90V. You know, I mean, it holds the edge forever, way longer than I need it to. It has a peanut butter spreader and an Amazon box package opener. It does me very well. It's not outside my budget range. Like, do I feel it when I spend it? Yeah, but I don't feel it when I spend it if I adjust for it. You know. So anyway. Just wanted to do this video, just kind of in response to Choir Boys. This is my take on it. I did leave a comment in his comment section on that video. It was a great video. If you haven't watched it, go over and check it out. I'm almost certain most of my subscribers also watch Choir Boys, but you know, if you haven't, it's a great video. And if it's your first Choir Boys video that you watch and I sent you there, tell him I sent you there. That way he knows, man. He goes out of his way to send people to me. And I very much appreciate that. And being a smaller channel, I'm not sure I'll really ever do any good for him. But anyway, you guys have a good one, man. We'll catch you on the flip side.